Hello there. I am Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper. Glad to be with you once again, dealing with narcissistic issues and answering your questions. I am just fabulously thrilled about the questions that you are sending me. Thank you so much for all the emails, for all the encouragement. Thank you for all of my new transcribers. I appreciate you so much. And I'm so glad that you're getting a lot out of the different instructions and teachings. I really value you, and I know you're learning to value yourself even more. Many people don't understand what it's like to be involved in a narcissistic relationship. It's quite tremendous, and it's good to have encouragement and people who are familiar with that type of relationship. So here we are once again, getting ready to answer another question. And the question is narcissistic rage. How can I handle it? And why do they rage so much? And it doesn't make sense to think that they're so enraged about. Well, narcissists a lot of times are getting very angry, enraged when they have sustained a narcissistic injury. They can go from 0 to 60 in a matter of seconds. And this rage, a lot of times when they are enrage is not only for if you did anything. Sometimes you don't always have to do anything. Sometimes they're enraged at the thought of something happened, at the thought of them not having their way, because narcissists do feel that if they want something, they should have it. A narcissistic enrage, especially the lower range narcissists and lower mid-grade narcissists, can be quite challenging because they can be quite violent, even to the point of being murderous. And this enrage can it be invoked. A lot of times you may not even be aware that you have invoked such rage with the narcissist. And when you have injured them, and usually what has happened before you, prior to you saying or doing what you did, or if they came home and was angry at someone else, all of that rage can be targeted to you. And when that rage is targeted to you, you have to be very, very, very wise, because it can be quite dangerous when that much rage, that much heat is unleashed in a situation. Many of you know what that's like, to be in the midst, and it's like being on hell's path when you are when the narcissist gets enraged and they start rambling, gaslighting you, accusing you, blaming you, making you feel terrible about who you are, and accusing you of things that you did not know that you did, or things that you didn't do, and you're trying to figure it all out. And so sometimes the best thing to do in cases like that is to be quiet if you know that you are endangered, or to put up a standard, so the narcissist will know you can't get away with that. And so based on the situation is the wisdom you have to use, because every situation is different. And when the narcissist is enraged, a lot of times they're delusional. And what I mean by that, they are enraged for things they're thinking in their minds, because you know that a narcissist, a lot of times they're living out of their mind. They're responding out of their mind. They're thinking out of their mind. And the things that are in their mind may not be their reality, but they are living in their minds and out of their minds. Hello there, Annette. How are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being with me on this morning. We are talking about narcissistic rage, and I'm quite sure you have experienced that. Hello, Kathy, 711. Good morning. How are you? I want to spend this hour with you on this scope this morning, 45 minutes on this scope this morning because we are dealing with narcissistic rage. A lot of people have experienced this, and if you have experienced this, Annette says, I experienced it for almost 8 years. Absolutely. And then you know that when you are experiencing narcissistic rage, they can go from 0 to 60, and you don't even know what you did wrong. You're trying to unravel what is happening. And Kathy said narcissists can't even hide their rage, even with the mask. Yeah, because I mean, rage is hard to hide. It's not just anger, that is rage, and it's intense rage. And a lot of times when they are angry, they are shouting, they are gaslighting. And if you notice a spirit of confusion, they are living out of their mind, and what in their mind is what they're inciting. And some of the things in their mind is not what the occurrence is that is happening before you. And so they take this world out of their mind and they put it into a reality form, and you're trying to think of what is going on, because a lot of times when they're enraged, it's something that was said on the job, something that they wanted and they did not get, because narcissists feel, good morning, Jay Gardner, the narcissists feel if they want something, they should have it. Narcissists refuse to be denied because narcissists live a grandiosity lifestyle, and so they think that everything should be catered to them. Nothing is for anyone else. Even when it's good things that they do to you, ultimately it's because of an advantage they see that they're going to benefit out of it. And so it looked like they're caring, it looked like they're understanding, but this rage that come, they're flowing out of their mind. They're inciting things that didn't happen. They're talking about things that happened in the past, and then they're mixing that up with things that are happening right now. And they're going back, if anything you've done to them over the years, they're going back into all of those years, pulling all of that stuff out in this enraged moment, because a narcissist never let you forget, and a narcissist don't want to ever forgive you. They'll never let you forget what you've done to them. They never forgive you for what you've done to them. And they're going to bring it up in every argument until they break you down. And the only reason a narcissist would change from being enraged is they win the argument. If you come back and you begin to fight with them, it is called challenge fuel. They're going to get that challenge fuel. But if you got rage, you're going to stir that rage up in even more. Hello, Eddie. You're going to stir that rage up even more. And the narcissists have a problem dealing with reality. Chi, she said, good morning. I have experienced cold and hot rage. It didn't always come out as highly aggressive. She said, but sometimes it showed up as silent, dirty looks and calm and nasty words and comment. Absolutely. When they are gaslighting you and they are really angry and enraged, if you're not moving when they tell you to move, if you're not operating in the timeline they say you're going to operate, if you don't call them when they say call them, or you don't be at a certain place. There was one incident where the young woman said that they was going someplace and she didn't know where she was going. And so they were having the navigational system, but the navigational system was having problem. He was enraged when he was experienced the same delay as she was experienced, understanding that the navigational system had led them astray. He didn't care about that. His anger was not amiss. He focused all of that. Now, when you get the Lord narcissists and they come out and they are physically violent, where they beat you to the pulp, and when you're laying in your blood beat down, it seemed like this thing lift up off of them, or when they are screaming at the top of their voice, or the higher or the greater narcissists become very manipulative and very calculative in their mind. They don't get enraged. They start thinking, they start concentrating, they start meditating, because they're going to mentally manipulate you to the end. I mean, it is a crushing blow of rage, and rage can manifest in hostility, and hostility can manifest in so many different ways of torture and torment. But when you offend the narcissist think you will not get away. You will have to pay for that, and they will make your life a living hell. The environment is thick with discombobulation and confusion and anger, and you can feel the intensity of that anger. That anger is so thick in that atmosphere because it's rage that you can cut it with a knife. And many people have lost their lives to the lower narcissists, and the the lower mid-grade narcissists. Hello, lovely, how are you? And they have lost their life in a fit of rage. And when the narcissist is in rage, or if the narcissist feel like someone has moved in on their territory, you can be talking to someone and someone speak to you, or you are at the store and someone talks to you. The narcissists get enraged because they feel like you are their property. The narcissists take ownership when they mentally connect you to themselves, when they sexually connect you to themselves. Once you are connected, the narcissist feel like you are his, and you are never anyone else. He or she take full ownership of their supply. And so the anger and the enraging comments and the enraging looks and the rage that come when you are talking to someone else, they go in the fit of a rage. And many of you have experienced physical torture from the narcissist, physical violence from the narcissist. And some people have barely made it out with their lives because the narcissist felt violated. He felt, or she felt, there was an intrusion. And the female narcissist is just as violent, and they're even more quick tempered than the men narcissists. And they go from 0 to 50. They're calm 1 minute, and it seemed like they thought of something, or you said something, or they assumed they heard something. And I mean, all hell break loose, and it keeps going and going and going, and it does not let up until the narcissist felt like he's won or she's won. And then they go from rage to a supernatural calm, and you're looking at them running, is this Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Because you were just raging a few minutes ago, and then he's babbling or she's babbling something, and you didn't even do that. And they're saying you are responsible. And a lot of times the narcissists, when they're enraged, go back in their mind as far back as they remember, and they will regurgitate all of the offenses and hash up all of the things that was done to them. Because in the mind of the narcissist, their reality is too harsh for them to live. So many of them live out of their fantasy. They live out of their mind. And many of the narcissists, they are immature. They're childish in their ways. They don't take responsibility, a lot of them, of certain things. And so when they are enraged, the fanaticism that's in their mind, they regurgitate this, and you can't put the pieces together because none of the situation has ever occurred between you and them, and yet you stand in jeopardy with something that is in his mind. So you try to throw in common words, and a lot of times you have to take fault, and you take fault because you want to calm them down instead of making a stand. Many people have made a stand with a narcissist in the fit of rage. You have to use wisdom in that situation. When that narcissist is in a fit of rage, it's not the time for you to prove your strength. It's not the time for you to battle and you are defenseless, not knowing what you're dealing with. Use wisdom, because sometimes silence is golden when it comes comes to your life. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. That's why when you are with a narcissist and they tell you when you know, go. If you can leave and you see that narcissistic rage, you need to get out of there. Now is the time for you to run. Now is the time for you to make your exit from that narcissist, because no matter how they say they're sorry, they're not sorry for the occurrence. They may be sorry because you say you're going to leave and they don't want you to leave. They may be sorry because they haven't got all of the fuel they want to get out of you, and they don't have another supply like you into place. And so they try to, and the lower narcissists, the lower mid-grade narcissists, they're very apologetic. They apologize, but they're not apologizing because they're sympathetic. They're apologizing because of loss. Blessed the Best said, my ex would project what his other supply did unto me. Absolutely. And if she teed him off, he would start with me instead of confronting the person who caused the offense. And see, a lot of times that's what they talk about, cowardice. Hello, Jordania, and how are you doing? She said, and don't look back if you ever leave. And see, this, all you have to do is experience the rage of a narcissist one time. And when you experience that, you will know that you got to get out of Dodge, because it's like being on hell's path. All of the lava for this volcano is exploding, and this lava is coming down the mountain of rage at quick speed and is headed directly your way. You have no way out, because the Lord Narcissist will usually block all entry, block all doors. Hello there, earthly harvester. They will block all doors so you won't have an escape route. If you feel in danger, if you can get to a place, call the police. These lower grade narcissists and lower mid-grade narcissists will become very violent, and they don't let up until they see they have inflicted pain. And if you notice, if you ever experience physical violence from one of them, you notice that after the physical violence, they seem to calm down. Everything is like it never happened, and you land in a puddle of blood, and now they want to get charming with you, and you're looking at them like, this is something wrong with these people. How are you going to do that? And you just went off on me. You just beat me, violated me, and many of them go to rape. Even though you live with them, they go to rape. It's really, really crazy. And Ned says here, she said, my husband is trying his best to get me to talk to him, trying to love bomb, but also still playing the blame game. She said, and not taking accountability for his action. Me to him, stay away. Absolutely. But see, the only thing about that, you have to lift up a standard. If it is safe, you have to draw boundaries. If it is safe and if it's wise to do that. The only thing with drawing boundaries is the narcissist is repetitive. They're consistent. And so they will come away from that arena, go over into another area of narcissistic behavior just to come back around to that. And so you will find that behavior like a revolving door. It would be over and over and over and over. You're not talking to them, and then finally you break down and talk to them, because as a wife, the needs, marital needs, do come around. And so when the narcissist try to love bomb you because they need that supply, because if you don't give them that supply, you know they're triangling. And so they do that even when you do give them supply. So you can imagine when they feel like you are not giving them supply, and the narcissist is in rage, and then you start being accused of cheating, and they start telling you what they are doing, but they accuse you. They accuse you of cheating. They accuse you of not being faithful. They accuse you of not loving them. They accuse you of violating the marriage and not being covenant minded. They will accuse you of everything they're doing. And many times the narcissists will end up telling off on themselves, and they accuse you of cheating. They're screaming and hollering and saying that you are cheating, you are not faithful, and call you all kind of demeaning names when that is them. They're telling you explicit what they are doing. And so when they tell you what they're doing and you disagree with them, once again, the rage comes. And Annette says, he beat me in the head until I was bleeding. And afterwards, he took me out to eat for lunch, even though I had 2 black eyes and still bleeding from the head. He acted like nothing happened. And see, this right here, and that right there is what I'm talking about. That's that lower grade and that lower mid-grade narcissist. Because once he released that fury, that was fuel, and he released it onto you, that anger. And the fuel for him was to see you suffering. When he saw that blood, when he saw that pain, he got the fuel. And once he get the fuel, they can settle down because they are full. It's like eating a meal. Once you eat a meal, you no longer need food because you're full. And that's the way it is with the narcissist. Once they exhibit that rage, that anger, they are full. And so they don't need anything else. That's why he can take you out with blood still on you. And you say, why don't he see the blood? Because the narcissist has in his mind an image of you. He can't see he doesn't have pity. He doesn't have empathy. He doesn't have love. So through his eyes, he don't see that. He see the supply has done their job. And so you as the supply took and bore all of that rage, bore all of that anger. Hello, Michael. And so when you bore all of that anger, now you are a good line of supply. You get the pat on the head, even though the blood is running down your head. This is why it is so dangerous. Are narcissists dangerous? They are dangerous, very dangerous. Can you imagine these people? They would kill and go home and eat and go out because they feel like they have a right. And then when people don't understand why they kill, they don't understand why people don't understand why they kill, because they feel like things belong to them. And as long as you are their property, you will do what they say, when they say it, and how they say do it, or you will suffer. Who's going to eat when blood is running down on your head? See, to me, that is strategy. That's strategy for getting up out of there. Because if that keep happening, you are jeopardizing your life. You can get a concussion. A lot of things can happen, and you are jeopardizing yourself. And when you jeopardize yourself and remaining into a hostile relationship, it can be quite tremendous. And see, you start losing who you are when you're dealing with that much rage. Psychologically, our mind cannot handle that. And our mind is telling us, get out. And our heart is telling us, no, he's going to be sorry. He's going to make up. He just had a bad day. That's not a bad day. That is very dangerous for you. And Kathy said, these narcs are all pure evil. Should stay away from them. Absolutely, but not everybody can get away. She said, wow, my stubborn husband continued to blame me for everything that he has done to me in the marriage. He seems to have been he seemed to have selective memory, as if he don't remember what took place. Absolutely. And Sharilla said, okay, good morning to you. And what happened is the narcissists don't take any blame. Because when you are perfect, how are you going to take blame? Because in the eyes of the narcissist, we are imperfect. They are perfect. That's why the narcissists keep going, looking for love in all the wrong places. And the narcissists look and look and look and look and look for the perfect person, but they're not going to find the perfect person, because once it is exposed, or once they are known, then their humanity come in, and humanity has flaws, humanity has failures, and then the anger come. And once the anger come in, then we're dealing with a whole different kind of beast here. uh Annette says, thank goodness I left over a year ago. I couldn't take anymore and I had to save my sanity. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because he's violent. And I'm telling you something, when the narcissist get where he can just beat you like that, they're going to get angry all the time and then feel like they can take it out on you. And then you are sustaining life threatening injury, life-threatening injury, and you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your children, because you not talking. These people are enraged. They are so enraged they can't even think. I mean, their eyes are budging, and then their mind is retracting. They're having a psychological indifference, and the way you think helps you see certain things. So they're seeing things through rage. So if they see things through rage, it has affected their sight. It has affected their insight. So when you are dealing with the rage of the narcissist, you have to, as a parent, you can think right, you can calculate, then get you and those children out of there. Don't get another I'm sorry. Don't get another I love you. Don't get another you are the one. Get out of there when you can. And when you can't, use strategy. Use strategy to eventually make your way out. All right. And then Kathy, what did you say, Kathy? She says, yes, Apostle Helen, she said, I agree. She said, love my child too much that I took the courage to stay away from the knot. Absolutely. And I applaud you. I really applaud you. You did an awesome, awesome thing, because a lot of women, they can't do it. They can't do it. They can't do it no matter what he does. They can't do it. And believe it or not, a lot of people who experience the rage of the narcissist, and the narcissist cut up so bad until they can't even go to work. Their face is terrible. He done beat up their body. They're tired. Because he just go on and on and on and on. It's like word salad. They keep on going. They never let things go, and they keep going, and they make sure that they are sustaining themselves. And so the narcissist, in their anger, is following you all through the house, talking. You have to be careful when you have the lower grade narcissists, because the more they abuse you, the more they torment you, the more fuel they get. They need your pain, and they need your pain to be ultimate so they can get that fuel. And when they get that fuel, you will see they're calming down. There is a peace effect, and all the stuff that they were indifferent about does not happen. It does not happen. And so as long as you give that narcissist what he wants, what she wants, they are fine. What you want is to see truth revealed. And what they want is to see truth covered up again. And so you have to be careful of what the kids are exposed to, what the kids see, because what the kids see can definitely be a problem. Definitely be a problem, especially when they're seeing rage and you try to teach them love. You know, they're not seeing love. They see daddy just going crazy, daddy shouting, daddy beat mom, mom screaming and hollering, mom running through the house, mom closing doors, and then dad go get the kids and act like he love them. And that's not true. That's not true. So the rage of a narcissist can be tremendous. It can affect every member of the family. And being in a new place, being in a new place where the anger is exposed, and you've never been exposed to this kind of rage. You've never been exposed to this kind of anger. It is something to be dealt with. Amen. And so the narcissist um, uh, is enraged, probably because of something you did, or something that an old supply did, or a supply that he's triangling with right now does something, and he has to bring that to the counter. And when he bring that to the counter, and what is the counter? The counter is when you bring that into your life. He bring that into the port, and he's getting ready to cash that thing out, and he's going to cash it out in physical violence, verbal disputing, because they will not let you win. And that verbal disputing is just as meaningful as the physical abuse. The physical abuse you can heal. It hurts just like the verbal abuse. One thing about the verbal abuse, you can try to hide it from the public. They will know it, but after a while, it's going to get where it's going to be too hard to hide. So you have to think, ladies, gentlemen, when these men and women get enraged, the beatings that you're going to sustain, is it worth it? It may not be worth it. The rage isn't worth it. You're enraged. You're being cut off. You're being shamed. And instead of them repenting, they're telling you everything you did wrong. Everything you did wrong. As a matter of fact, it's like that whatever happened has never happened, because they won't take responsibility for it. They won't take responsibility. So when the narcissist is enraged, this narcissist is dangerous. For many of you, the narcissist is dangerous. And those who are not, you got to be careful, because you go a no contact. And when you go a no contact, you don't come back. Like Annette, the beating she got, Annette, the reason you stayed is that you were married to him. Is that the reason you stayed? And how long have you been out? How long have you been out? How long have you been out, if you are out from that narcissistic relationship? Kathy 711, she says here, she say, he may not be physically violent to you, but emotionally and physically that he has inflicted for the worst. Oh yeah. Emotionally and physically, he's damaging. Emotionally and physically, he's very, 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 very damaging. Very damaging. And so when you get into a sprawl, if you just this is your first time being in the sprawl with a narcissist, or you have experienced that in the past, being in the sprawl with a narcissist, you knew you had to take immediate action. Number one, you had to take immediate recover. Number two, you had to pull from out of your bellies life substance to assist them. And so you had to pull out of your belly, and the life substance is wisdom. These are, and some of you that are Christians, the Bible says you can ask of God wisdom, and he will give liberty and evade not. A lot of times we don't know how to handle the narcissist, and we have to handle the narcissist with wisdom. A whole lot of wisdom when you're in the midst of being violated like you have. Amen. All right. So the narcissistic rage, she says, bless you for your amen. Dowdy, married for 8 years and be out for a year and 2 months. Well, see, you right on here, because we know what it is to exit courageously from the narcissist. She said, my husband literally left his civil service job of 13 years to move to California. Wait a minute. She said that my ex left his civil service job of 13 years to move to California from New York because he doesn't want to pay child support and don't and can't deal with the damage he made. He's leaving his 12-year-old. You know what? See, and that's the thing we're trying to get people to see. Narcissists are self indulgent, they are self absorbed, they self administrate, they even self medicate. And a narcissist, it's about them. It's not about you, it's not about your children, it's not about anything but the narcissist. Everything they do is about them. Everything they do is about them. Everything, not just a little thing. Every single thing is about them. All right. And who's this? Soraya says, my ex tried to use the pastor to get back at me. See, manipulators. And Gerarda says, my husband tries to say God hates divorce, and I know the God I serve will not want me being this. God hates divorce, but there are terms of the divorce. And Jesus said, because of the hardness of your heart, that God allowed divorce. Not man only. God allowed divorce. Okay. Jarita, my husband uh, my husband tries to say God hates divorce. Yeah, he does. But that's manipulation. That's manipulation because he didn't say it at any other time. Um, and Soraya said, my ex tried to use our pastor to get back at me. Yep, he really do. And that's why sometimes pastors don't like to get involved in personal relationship because their name is used and they don't even know it. Shirelles, my pastor told me if I went back to him, he would smack me. Ooh, well, that would be no different than the smack you're getting if he get angry. Earth Harvester said child support unit can tag his IRS to get child support. Wow. And so that's Gerardo says amen. And look at this. Soraya says, God did not want us to live in suffering for another person. Absolutely. Not that kind of suffering. Jamila May says, you are on point. Narcissists remind me of something I read in the Bible about being a reprobate. Yeah. Thank you, Earth. And see, reprobate means that you have past the point of 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 um of safety. That means all warnings, you've ignored all warnings and you kept going overboard. You kept extending until now that little vow, which the narcissists have already been damaged, that would keep you back in the normacy. You have ignored that. But you got to remember the narcissists are shut down emotionally. They don't feel a lot of good feelings. Their feelings are always evil. Their feelings are always angry. So they make you angry. They think of evil and then they look at you, and you can make a narcissist angry at an instant. They even get angry when you have a sense of confidence and you are with them, but you're too confident and they're not feeling all of that. So boom, here goes the attack. And you're like, I'm just standing here. What am I doing wrong? You are being attacked by a narcissist. You don't have to do anything wrong. You can do everything right, and they will hate you. They will hate you because they despise your freedom. They despise your freedom with the children. They despise the way you think. They despise it, and that's the way God made it. So you can't apologize for what God has done for you. And Yahweh's Anon said the Bible also say not to spend time with angry people. Yeah, the Bible said go from a present of an angry man when you perceive not the wisdom of God in them. Jared Gerardo Watson, my husband loves me, and my husband loves to try to keep me confused. Okay. I just pray in prayer, and he threatens to kill all of our kids and me. Crazy. And he lives to hurt with words more than action. Ooh. And that is, ooh, that is dangerous. You know, a narcissist, the narcissists that I know that have made threats to people, they made them good. They didn't just threaten, they came through with them. If they said they was going to hurt you, they did. If they said they were going to kill you, many of them tried. They did. So I believe that it's a good thing, both going and coming. Both going and coming. And Earth Harvester said, surely the child support trucker track not tagged his employer. She said, and before his and docked his pay. Okay. And still he liked his hours, his house, where he was forced to sell it and to pay back almost $60,000. Get him with your local union. Whoa. See, now you see what I mean? See, a narcissist can, you're in your house and you're sitting, everybody's laughing, and he goes to the kitchen and boom, he comes out and you trying to wonder what was in the kitchen. You know, did he see a plate of food that made him angry? The the children, anything that can provoke. You can be sitting on the couch and he get provoked in his memory. I mean, something that happened 5 years ago, and he remember, boom, you are enraged. And I love what she said here. She said the child support tracked NARC. She said tagged his employees, docked his pay, and still liking his house where he was forced to sell it and pay almost $60,000. See, yeah, that could be quite dangerous too. And Shahela said, but Vanessa, he left me 20,000 in debt and paid for a food for 12 years. He is not happy that I can finally move out. Wow, that is really good. And see, many people don't know about the rage of the narcissist. The narcissist is enraged. And the thing is, it's reality and fantasy. The reality of what that he is stirred up in his house. The fantasy is what he's living out of his mind, is not even matching his house. So things are going on in his house cannot be managed because it is not acknowledged. In order to go into management, you got to acknowledge the problem to be managed. His rage is unmanageable. You're not going to manage the rage of a narcissist. Absolutely impossible. You're not going to keep them back. Anything, you're going to be more offensive, which will cause him to be more enraged, because things can happen at a quick moment. You didn't imagine it, you didn't think it, and now you're living it. And the people that you are living it with and you're engaged with all know, all got some kind of formal experience, formal background. So you know that you are not alone. But every chance you get, you got to pray for deliverance, because you can't keep getting beat. He can physically hit you in a way where it can limit your mobility. It can start messing with your health. She says here, to us, Rayleigh said, yes, he left me 20,000 in debt, played me for food for 12 years. He is not happy and finally moved on. Boy, I tell you, God is really, really good. She said, I asked, fasted and praying for Jesus to search my heart and reveal that I could see and God is not a failure. Thou art Jesus. Um, through the name of Jesus, I came out, and yes, he left me $20,000 in debt. Whoa. She said, Earth Harvester, find safety, get remaining order, get a restraining order or no contact. Absolutely. Don't give your address, block them in every way you can, block in social media, block everything, block out their numbers. You know what? When you are in danger, it should be a common courtesy to yourself, a common practice to yourself. That's why in the midst of all of this, you keep hearing love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself like you're supposed to love yourself, nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to love you. This angry narcissist going to tear up everything. Little thing that is intricate, you cannot leave it. They would tear it up on purpose. Anything dealing with you, and he had to suspend his anger toward you, you're going to get it. Earth Harvester said, finally, safety, get restraining order, no contact. Uh, don't give your address to anyone. Boy, what a life you have to live. Whoa. Let me see. But he left, and he left silently with the new supply. And she was my blessing of release. Oh, you were happy. Well, Jamila says, thank God for your videos. It let me know that I am not, you are not crazy, baby. You are not crazy. You are sound, and you are in your right mind. You're working with people who may be challenged in the realm of narcissism, until their personalities and threatening life can be at jeopardy. Let me see. And this is Earth Harvester. Says, see there, I've had to get reconstruction surgery on my jaw many years ago. Um, still cannot ever forget. Please get help. Service. When you are dealing with narcissistic rage, do not take this lightly. Please get help, get professional help. You cannot keep getting beat. I thank God that I think that was Earth Harvester. Was that you, Earth Harvester, that got out? I thank God that you got out, that you are free. And once you get out, you have to stay out. Go no contact. I don't care how hard it is. Don't go back. Because if you go back, it'll be worse than it ever, 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 ever has been, because the narcissist will be enraged again, and the rage will get more and more and more and more and more. He's going to increase. She's going to increase. She's not going to stop. They're going to fight you tooth and nail, and they're going to affect your psyche, because when they fight you, they know they're messing with your mind. They are fully aware that they're messing with your mind, and they want to train you. The narcissist want to train you. When you get beat up, you'll be in fear, and so he will hold you hostages from your own fear. She will hold you hostages from your fear. Most women, if they get enraged, when they get enraged, they call the police, or they'll call someone. And when they get enraged, they will call them and say that they need help. But then once you get out and you don't stay out, you got to remember, when when you leave the narcissist, he's coming back. And love bomb, you're a primary supply. Narcissists don't give up primary supply. They discard them, and the discard is temporary. The discard is not even permanent. They will be back. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I will be back. they are coming back because the narcissist feel like you are his. That's why he don't want you talking to anybody. That's why he isolate you from your family and he isolate you from your friends. He does all of that because the narcissist wants you to himself, because he has to train his specimen. He going to train it through violence because fear works. Fear is very effective. Fear will have you not to move. Fear will have you so nervous. Fear will have you biting your nails. Fear will have you not knowing whether you're coming and going. Fear will make you go to work and hate to come home. Fear will have you with children and you trying to get them out, but you don't have anywhere to go because you don't have enough money to go there. And so you got to use wisdom. Fear will. Fear will keep you close to the narc. And after a while, the narc that you love, he don't start looking so good because the pain of what you're going through with them starts speaking louder than them looking good, being good, sounding good, making love good. All of the things that you count worthy, he's totally chipping away with rage, chipping away at your mind, chipping away at your personality, chipping away at your dreams, chipping away at your time, chipping away even at your body. Your body can only handle so much physical violence and physical torture. And so you start losing who you are. The more rage you get, the more you lose yourself, until the narcissists have this body. It's just a shell. And this shell is moving in the house. The shell goes to work. The shell is with kids, but you are absent. You've been absent for months. You don't know who you are. You don't know when the family talking to you. It's almost like an echo from the distant wah, 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 wah. You start understanding words. And you're looking at people talk and their mouth is moving, but you're not understanding. You're losing yourself. You got to refocus. You got to revive. You got to bring yourself in. If there's someone you can talk to them, because the narcissist will have you trained to keep taking your pain back, to keep taking your death back, to keep taking your killer back, to keep taking your assassin back, to keep taking your rapist back, because this rage is inexcusable and it's not acceptable. And so let's see what else is being said here. Earth Harvester said, been there. She said, I had to get reconstructive surgery for my jaw many years ago. Still cannot ever forget. Please get health service. Oh, Earth Harvester. You know, I really applaud you, woman of God, for your strength. Your strength. She said the new supply is a blessing. Yes. New supply distract narcissists so that he think it's his decision, so it lower his rage. Absolutely. Because when that happens, it's time to get out. You say, I can't get out. I got kids. Don't tell me you can't. You have to get programs. You have to use wisdom. It's best that you get out than to die there. I have dealt with people who did not listen. I've seen people who live, who got out and grew and prosper. I've seen people who stayed and died, and someone else had to take their kids. The narcissist still doing everything he was doing when they were living, but now they don't have a mom, and the dad is still with the new supply. Didn't want the kids because the kids go to the next living parent. Come on. And so the dad spent a few years in jail, and then he gets out. He gets out. One man even said it was an accident. And he gets out and get the kids, and they have in their memory that their daddy accidentally killed their mom. And so, and he's enraged. He does not change. A narcissist is like the sun. It's going to rise and set. And the same thing, the narcissist will not change. It will not change. He will not change. He will not change. We want them to change, but they will not change. How much pain does it take for us to change? Because now we cannot leave it to them. It is now up to us. Queen is here. She said, God, good morning, love. Hello there. How are you? Sandra, good morning, good morning. And Earth Harvest said, she said, take advantage of the moment and get help services to stay away from his reach. Oh my God, please do listen to her. That's good advice. Uh, Earth Harvester, I'm giving you a high five. That is good, good, good advice. She said, when you know, go, come on. That's what I say. Maggie, good advice. When you know, go. Tudo, which is the narcissist, or he's a greater narcissist. He said, and don't come back. Sandra B said, my ex-narc bragged on how he respected women, but later he shared his wife divorce. He shared his wife divorced him and accused him of being abusive. He was very angry, sharing the story, and expressed oh, and hatred toward her, and as though he reconciled. See, you can't go back. You can't go back. Jarita, you can't go back. She said, God gives us wisdom. Leave and you will get your life back. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything. Your thoughts come back. Your dreams come back. Your life come back. It took time to be with him. It's going to time to rebuild you. She said, make a plan. If you are going to leave in one side of the city, spread false information to all of his flying monkeys that you are going to go into the opposite direction or the other city. I have to do that, absolutely, because he will come after you, right? And he said he never touched her, but had anger management issues and reconcile. But you know he's a liar. The narcissist truth is a lie. So when they tell you the truth, that's their lie. You know they're going to lie. They do it so smooth. It's just like butter. It just spread real easy. They don't even struggle with it. He said, touch her, but had anger management issues. He said, and reconcile for a period of time. And he said she accused him of trying to talk to his sister. Yeah, that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Shake the Foundation, how are you? Glad to have you aboard. Jamila said, I was with a narcissist for only 7 months, but the mental torment and the anger is paralyzing. Do you know what? I met them where they was with the narcissist 3 months. And for 3 months, it took them a year and a half to clear 3 months of pathway. A year and a half to clear 3 months. So can you imagine if somebody been with them? I've had them where they're with them for 40, 50 years, totally almost mess these people up, and the life they got left, they appreciated and they valued it. But after all of 40 years, you have to get out. You have to start over again, because for 40 years, you kept telling yourself you're going to change. For 40 years, you kept telling yourself it's going to be different. For 40 years, you kept believing that it can't be. He can't be a narcissist. I know he loved me for 40 years, and you kept getting the same thing until you barely escaped with your life. Now you realize it, and you look back and say, what could I have done with 40 years of my life? But instead, I gave it to this person and lived a merry-go-round. And now I got to get my mind back, my dream back, my health back, because you've given all of that to someone who was enraged over a fantasy. Half the stuff they was thinking was delusional. It did not happen. And stuff they accuse you of is the stuff they did. And they won't take responsibility for it. So they blame you. And you live out the narcissist fantasy every hurting moment at a time, every hurting second at a time. You go no contact with broken ribs, and he allow you to go no contact. And then when he don't get fueled, just when he think that you regain your composure, here he comes again, and you get broken ribs again. It's the same story. You have to learn who you are and to value who you are. We say this, but there need to be a release valve first, because in order for you to come back into your right mind, you got to get around strength, get around people that is going to encourage you, people that are going to nurse you, people that are not going to rehearse your pain, people that the narcissist can't get through. Because sometimes you can take your family member around that narcissist and their guards are down. Next thing you know, he's in bed with your sister, in bed with your child. You got to be a protector. You got to be wise, because if you know your sister's wounded, your brother's wounded, and different things like that, you can't bring them around. He's going to suck them in, because you got to remember, these people are not just regular folk. They are addictively dangerous. And so next thing you know, your sister is addicted to your husband, and she got the same problem. And then Sandra said, let's go down to Jamila. She said, okay, let's go down to Jarita. She said, they will only change, periodically, absolutely, just enough to get you back. And then boom, all the old ways are there. Exactly. 15 years sewing feathers at 15 years. Can you imagine 15 years with that? She said 1 year threw them out. She said 1 year, and she threw them out. 5 months, no contact. Good, good, good. And this is Grimhead. She said, I got bombarded by a narcissist, she said, last night, thinking they are entitled to my ex-narcs. I don't lost my place here. Okay. Let me get my place back here. I think I may have missed that one. It's going by so quick now. Let us go to Earth Harvester. She said, get supervised visitation, keep you safe. See, she's on the roll. So let's go with Earth Harvesters. I'm going to stick with her because she's trying to get you out. When you are married and you have children, you can't just leave, because the courts will recognize their parental rights. And if it looked like you took the kids and escaped, then they're going to charge you with kidnap. It's going to work for them. And then if they charge you with kidnap, you can't request supervisor visit. You're the one will be getting supervised visit. So you got to make police reports. When you are being physically, make a police report. Don't be afraid to make a police report. Even if you have to get out and go to a shelter, there are programs that would assist you. The YMCA, the Women Constable, different programs that would assist women with children. Family members, if the family is flying monkeys and he have deceived them and they won't help you, then go to government programs. But you have to file a police report, and you have to get a restraining order to keep them away from you. You got to stay out of the vicinity of sight, because they are crazy. These people would see you down the street, and it can be just as crazy as in your house, because you got to remember, the narcissist feel like he's lost. The narcissist does not win. They are so engulfed with the fact that they lost. They're not even engulfed with the fact that they're going to hurt you. They don't think about none of that, because they don't take accountability or responsibility for their action. They're thinking you left. They're thinking you hurt them. They're thinking you deceived them. So he's jumping out, maximizing the torture, maximizing the fight zone. And then he start fighting you on the street. These people are delusional. They have no sense of boundaries. Remember, you set up boundaries. The narcissists cross the boundaries. So you set up for where they're going to cross. So if you get a no contact order, if you get a restraining order, and you get a police report, and you get released to leave, you have to leave. You have to plan. You can't stay there, because if he beat you, he's going to beat the children. And you don't need to go to jail for your narc. You don't need to go to jail, because if he hit those kids, it's over, baby. It's over. It's over. It's called Come Back Mama, because mama coming back. And so the best thing to do is to get away. I love Earth Harvester. I love the track she's on. She's saying, look, these are some things you can do. You got to slow down your roll. You got to think. You got to get wisdom. Write things out. Don't keep it in your mind. You have to write things out and hide it away where he can't get them, because your mind now has been affected by the narcissist. And 9 times out of 10, your memory has been affected by the narcissist, because all of these hormones are working. He's retract your mind. Your mind has been redirected, and your brain has been affected. Your brain has been assaulted, terrorized by the narcissist. Your body is in trauma. The narcissist affect every part of your body. So your body is in trauma. Your brain has been terrorized. Your brain, your thoughts have been redirected. Your hormonal balance is off. Your blood pressure is high. Your organs, because of stress, it's not working properly. You probably losing sleep. He done pulled away your family. You got kids in the house laced with fear, and the kids don't think there's no safety, because when mom don't feel safe, the kids don't feel safe. And so you have to protect the kids. Not even the animals are safe when you have a malignant narcissist that is in rage. Do not underestimate these narcissists. She said he would never fully share an aspect of the past. It was like pulling puzzle pieces with the wrong pieces, contradicting himself constantly because they're lying. She said if I questioned him, he would be go to the silent treatment, because you're bringing him into accountability. 18 months with him. She said, and 4 months, no contact. I'm okay, but not 100%. Because Eddie, it takes time. You are being debriefed. Your body is being debriefed with time. Your body is getting all of the venom that was placed in there by this serpent. All of this venom is coming out of your body, and that's going to take time. Maggie said he does not love the kids. They are supply. Yeah, he see them as an extension of himself. He get a supply because he see kids as accomplishment. He won. He won her womb. He got her to carry those kids. He broke through the matrix of pain for 9 months, and now she has to raise his victory. She has to raise his trophies. Those are his trophies. He said, you are right, Apostle Sadler. Narc pulled my family in, slept with both of my sisters, tried to sleep with my daughter. Some of my family members don't believe me and think something is wrong with me. But I'm glad you believe you. I'm glad you know that there's nothing wrong with you. Yes, Eddie, they are losers. And Dana said, I wish there was a program for men. I had to stay there being emasculated until the judge let me move. You know what, Dana? There is more and more programs that are happening because narcissism now is so prevalent, especially since we have a high-ranking individual that seem to have these characteristics. So programs are open. They may not have understood narcissism before. They are understanding it firsthand now. She said, good morning. How are you? M. Mitch, glad to have you on board. It is horrible. Absolutely. And Sandra B said, mine would invite me over, then verbally snap at me for nothing. He would never apologize for anything. And when I questioned his triangulation tactics, he would say I was confusing stories. Yeah, no, you was hitting it. And you was hitting it. And next thing you know, he would turn the table and say, you're cheating. Imagine if all were to write out stories and create our library for the next generation to see. That's what we're doing. Dr. Carmen Bryan has a book out. I'm writing my book. Get Dr. Carmen Bryan book. If you have not got that book, Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. Once you pick that book up, you will not be able to put that book down. That is a powerful powerful book, and it's legendary the way she tells that story. It is going to be healing for a lot of men and women to have somebody who know your story, who believe your story. Like she said, her family wouldn't believe her. He done slept with two sisters, tried to sleep with a daughter. This man right here. And see what happened. Let me tell you something. You don't hardly hear where narcissists are being killed, where people have killed these narcissists, but it's happening. People, they just snap. That's why they're like empaths, codependent, they snap. I mean, because codependent needs somebody to identify them, and a codependent person merge into the identification of that person until you can no longer separate them. And so the codependent end up snapping. They end up needing psychiatric help because they let that narcissist possess their soul like a demon would possess a body. They allow that narcissist to possess that soul, to take them over. And they can't take it. A young empath is very dangerous in the hands of a narcissist. Usually a greater narcissist is the only one who can really handle a super empath, upper mid narcissist, greater narcissist, because the super empaths transpose, and they transpose. And when they transpose into this supernova and bring the supernova effect, they are liftless. They almost have no breath in them, because usually when a super empath transpose, they go to the limit because they feel guilty for how can I say, they're not for retaliating, but they feel guilty, because super empath are people who feel they are helpers. They want to help you. They want to help you grow. They want to help you. And so even though they go against the narcissist for their own survival mode, they feel bad about it. So now they have to fight condemnation, and the narcissists wait for them to reprieve, and they come back in. They come back in and start all over again. That's what the narcissist does, because they don't change. So the game is the same. So maybe what they're telling us, you got to change. She says, speak to your guardian angel and ask him to represent you in all areas today. You know what, Maggie? And rather than to speak to your guardian angel, you pray to the Lord Jesus Christ. He will release to the angels. The Bible said that the angels hearken unto the voice of God's word. If you release that word, they will immediately go on assignment. Mitch say, I will get it. Thanks. Kathy Levin say, yes, please get the book from Dr. Carmen. I just finished reading it, and it was very enlightening for us. It's very enlightening. I mean, she tells stories and in detailed fashion. She said even females that seem so nice as friends turn out to narc. She said praying for better discernment. I'm imagining. She said, I'm a magnet to those type people. You know what? Usually empath and people who have borderline personality disorders, and people who are wounded, because the narcissist now can get strong people. Don't you think that the narcissist just go after weak people, because they're strong, innovative, very career-minded women, but everybody wants to be loved. And they pick that one void that's in your life. You had a traumatic situation, and they go in on it. They hem in on it. They are specialists. And the thing is, don't you ever underestimate a narcissist. Don't do it, because you'll get caught in the trap. Never, never, never underestimate a narcissist. She said, the overambition, good morning, how are you? And Mitch said, I've now come to realize that my father, who abandoned me, and my sisters, who were all from different mother, was a malignant narcissist. Absolutely could be true. And Sandra said he slipped up and told me he was seeing someone before me, but discarded her when she wouldn't call him back after an argument. He kept bringing her up and confused me with her. Uh, a rebound relationship, I guess. Well, sounds like that, doesn't it? Because he's really telling off on himself. And Kathy said, we can find ourselves in stories of the survivors there. Exactly. It was a very good book. Dr. Carmen and Apostle Helen just created a masterpiece in that book. Yeah, that was a good book. And I love it. Hello, Robbie. I love it because she take time uh, to give credit to situations, the very intense situation, life and death situation. Listen to me. The narcissist, when he's enraged, please pay attention. Don't underestimate the narcissist. Don't underestimate the narcissist. Robbie, you have our prayers. I'm on here. It is now 5:22 in the morning, and I haven't slept. I haven't slept all night, and I'm getting ready to get some sleep. But I'm going to tell you something. We are here for you because we know what you're going through. We know what you're experiencing. We know what it takes. And because we know what it takes, we are willing to put ourselves on the line so you can get up. We're willing to lift your hands up, but you're going to have to get up. You're going to have to realize that you want to get up, and you have to do it. Even when you don't want to, you have to. Even when you feel like you want to lay there, you can't lay there. It's time to move. It's time to do something about this. She said, I lost my husband. He knew that I was lonely. Yep. Wanted my husband benefits to open a business and told people I want money. Oh my God, Felicia. Isn't that some triangulation? Yes, ma'am. Sandra said he had a high position in the church and ongoing issues with forgiving themselves. I tried to help him, but he kept telling me everyone wants the good of someone, but not the bad, the ugly, and wonder what he meant by that. He meant himself. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I see some of you are subscribing. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go and subscribe. I need 1,000 partners, a subscriber with my YouTube channel, and we can have better lighting with that. So I'm looking for, and I think I'm just like maybe 49 short. So we're looking for that to be done this week. Earth Harvester, thank you, Apostle Helen. Blessed day all. God bless you, woman of God. She said, we need a prayer. I would love to pray for you when we're getting off. Listen to me. If you are in danger, remember Earth Harvester, what she said. We got to put the right contact orders in place. We got to protect the kids, and we got to protect you. Call the police. Don't be afraid to call the police. You need a police report if you're going to deal with the kids, because if it looked like you're psychotic, then he'll end up winning. Call the police. Get a no contact order or a restraining order. And then if he wanted to get the kids, send in a mediator, because you said the kids may be in danger. They'll believe it because you got a police report, and then now you got a no contact order. So that looks good for you. And so then you get a supervisor, and the supervisor will start mediating on your behalf so that he can't see the kids alone. And then child support, if he have a job, they will start pulling that money out of his pay so he can take care of the kids. There are things you can do. You just have to let it be done. All right, my YouTube family, please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. And remember, get Dr. Carmen Bryan's book. It is Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. Awesome, awesome, awesome book. I know you're going to enjoy it. Please recommend it to all your friends. If you think a friend is involved with a narcissistic relationship, buy one for them and get one for you. They will appreciate it when they get their life back. It may be a struggle now, just like one lady said that she's all right, she's doing good, go no contact, but she's not 100%. You know, the narcissist is addictive. And once you got an addiction, it's hard to just let go an addiction. But I am a witness that once you go no contact, once God do that, you won't even want it back. You don't want it. You know, you could see it and you go, what was I thinking? You know, what was I thinking? Because they don't even look right. They look crazy. And you think I must have been crazy to be with him, so he just caught you at an off moment. You know how when you cook a meal and everything is perfect, and then you have a bad day and try to do that same meal, people be like, it don't taste the same. Well, that was the day it didn't taste the same. It was just an off day, but you were getting yourself together, and you will find that when you go no contact, you are getting stronger. Your mind coming back in, your thoughts coming back in, your body is deregulating itself from all of that harsh stress. The venom is coming out. Your heart is starting to regulate. Your blood pressure is going down. You're starting to get more sleep. Your mind is not imagining things all day where you are seeing trauma and tragedy, and everything going in your mind is against you. And it's like a demonic oppression. This demonic cap is sitting down on your mind. And all you think about is crazy stuff, harsh things all day. And the people that you love are moving away from you. And the people that you hate, people that you don't even like, are starting to come to you. And so God is changing your world. Go no contact. Once you know, you go, and you don't come back. I am so glad to enjoy this time with you. She said, mine have been hoovering me all week. She said, right now, via email, every time I watch you or Dr. Carmen, he hoovers. She said, I wonder if he was on the same site at some point. Now that's concerning to me, but not fearful. Just stay no contact no matter what he do. Keep doing what you're doing. Watching your videos gave me the strength to go no contact. I thank God for you. Jamila, I thank God for you. And we're going to be here, First Sergeant and I, Dr. Brian and I, we will be here, and there are others online that are just as good. Be careful. Everybody don't have the wisdom. Do not subscribe to everyone. Listen to what they're saying. You can hear truth, and you've been deceived by the narcissist. You will not be deceived by a person who said they're going to help you and they're in bondage, or their information has been distorted. You will know a distortion. A person tell you how to win your narcissist back, you know not to hit that channel. When they tell you how to bring the narcissist into a perfect agreement, the narcissist is not a little puppet. They're rebellious serpents and snakes. They're black mambas that crawls in your house. These are very dangerous people, and don't ever take them lightly. Walk in the wisdom and the power of God. Father, in Jesus' name, I pray right now for my YouTube family. I pray for supernatural strength. I pray for supernatural wisdom. I pray for your hand, God, to be upon them, your hand of mercy. God, open up their eyes, give them insight. Let nothing be hidden from them. Let them perceive, let them know, let them understand. If you have to give them in a vision or a dream, if you have to send someone to them in the prophetic realm, they will know. Use every means necessary to bring this strength about them. God, then use them to raise up other people. Use them for the lives of other people. Use them to bring other people out. Use them to sustain. Many of them going to have a ministry coming out from this pain, coming out from this. God, they will be able to reach those who are hurting. God, even even the empaths that are on this. Let an intercessory ministry, God, come down on empaths. They are powerful, powerful prayer warriors because they can touch the people. They're in contact with the people. God, let businesses begin to flow. Let them rebuild. Let them revive. Let them restore in Jesus' name. God, I thank you for this testimony. Those who are not able to go no contact, I break that bondage. I break that addiction. I loose the power of God on their behalf. And God, they would use you. They would yield to you to get wisdom to come out for them and the babies. And I believe, God, those babies will be restored and the fear gone. Those have been molested, God, heal in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Remember, if you have not subscribe to my YouTube channel, please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Push the bell so anytime I come on, you will get the alert. And remember, here, like, and share the page. I love you to life, and you are more powerful than what you believe. You are chosen by God, and He knew exactly what you were doing. Your experience is not a waste. It's a ministry. It's a business. It's another life being saved because your tears have become their joy. I love you to life, and God bless you. I'll see you on tomorrow. All right. Good morning, fam.